It helps if I take the mic off of mute. Apparently.
Mark Olson, you are not deaf. We are just muted.
I've only been doing this for like 6 years, so. Howdy ho,
I'm just going to
everyone.
say, I still hold the record for doing, I think, about 45 minutes of a show before someone was like, there's no sound. So you don't win that one.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Tool Talk Live. How's everyone doing? Well, happy Sunday night. Glad you're all here. We're starting early. We were way early, but now we actually have sound. Uh, anyway, just want to say hi to everyone. Jeff Appleizer, first one to click the thumbs up. Dirty Durbin, what do you know about 28-ounce framing hammer from Milwaukee? I know it's from Milwaukee. It's probably red. It's a framing hammer. Weighs about 28 ounces. Probably made in Taiwan based on most of the other stuff they have. And I'll take this. Basically, I've not used it, not even held it. But my take on almost all the Milwaukee tools is this. They're prosumer or better grade tools priced at near professional grade, and they always feel the need to do something weird with it to make it look cool and Milwaukee-ish that I don't care for. If it was up to me, if I need a framing hammer, I'd buy a good old Made in the USA S-Twing. I started off as a carpenter back, it was a Paleozoic era, I think, and I did ride a Brontosaurus to work. It was a used one. I picked it up. It had a few dents in it, but it got me there. And I first hand tool I ever purchased was an S-Twing hammer, and I've loved them ever since. First power tool I ever purchased was a Milwaukee Sawzall, so it's not like I'm anti-Milwaukee. I just don't see the need to be buying Milwaukee. If you want to buy a Milwaukee hand tool, I'm not going to tell you not to, but you asked my take on it, and that's my take. Owen's Jeep stuff in the house. Owen, oh my gosh, a late 90s YJ in good shape, just slipped through my fingers. They wanted $5,500 for it. I was like an hour too late on it. Anyway.
When I found out this morning, I thought like something really dramatic and terrible had happened. Then I found out.
Mark Olson is happy to know that he does not have hearing loss. Armando says no sound. We got the sound fixed. There we go. Says Tyler. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Who else we got? Doug Cutler's here. Jeff Embry, sorry. Daniel Yu, Luke's, and let's see. Yeah, Mark says S-Twing for the win. Exactly, that's my take on it. I am, I'm kind of, I don't know if I'd say I'm a fanboy of S-Twing, but it's borderline. All right, I will admit this. I do have a tendency to lean that way. You know, it's, as I often say, I'm not. A lot of people go, well, you know, you're just anti-USA and you support Chinese tools and stuff like that. No, I support people being able to buy tools. That's what I support. People like Harbor Freight and other companies manage to do that. You know, you look at power tools. There's not a power tool that can be purchased, you know, through any kind of retail that's made in the U.S. anymore. You know, so we support people using tools and buying tools. If there is an American equivalent that is reasonably priced that has the same kind of quality, I will almost always choose that. You know, it's not. I don't try to be. What was the word I was looking for? I don't make it part of my, not ideological, but you know, I had a word for it. But anyway, it's I will go that way when I can, and if there is a reasonable option, I will always buy USA, and I recommend that everyone else does as well. But the Milwaukee ones, just I don't find them compelling. Let's see here.
Rick and Kelly say
Rick
hello,
and Kelly in the
and
house.
Miss Penny. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. We miss you.
Mark, that's perfect. That was exactly the word I was trying to say. I don't like to be dogmatic about it. I just like, you know, I like to think of this as the Thinking Man's Tool channel. We're not fanboyish about anything. I try to have full disclosure so you always understand where I'm coming from about stuff. And we like to have open and reasonable discussions about it. So yes, thank you very much. That was exactly the word I was looking for. David says, any big new tools announcement in the near future? I do know. I can tell you, Harbor Freight. I found out about the drill. There is going to be a brushless drill coming out from Harbor Freight. In fact, they're trying to send me, a contact over there is trying to get me one. And hopefully I might even get it before it's supposed to be out. I'm trying to figure out if I have a date exactly on when that's going to be. He alluded to some things in this. That's not it. That's them telling me that I'm not going to get that dang Jeep that I wanted.
He's still a little miffed about that.
Little butthurt about that.
Just a little bit.
I don't know. I think he said it's going to be like midsummer. That can't be right because it's almost summer now. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Mark D says, hello. How's the night going, guys? I know, David, he's still looking for the announcement.
Yeah, I don't have an exact date on it.
But hello. Futanu2 says, evening all.
Hey there, Futon. How you doing?
Wolf says, hello. Wolf. Smiley face. Poison. Not really sure what that means. It's like I'm going to distract you with a wolf and smiley face. And I'm gonna
He's a cool dead wolf? I don't get it. Emojis are beyond me. I give up on them.
I like them, though. I mean, I like emojis. Especially the hippo and the dancing pear.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, we are still in get the house out of winter mode. She's been cleaning like nobody's business. Problem is, it's a small house, so you got to pull everything out of one room, then clean that room, then go back and figure out all the piles of stuff, what goes back in, what needs to go. And this weekend we went to the we were at the auto auction on whatchamacallit on Friday.
Yes.
We went to...
For a second, my brain was like, we went to an auction? What are you talking about? And I was like, oh, right, we did.
The city impound auction. So typically, for some reason, I don't know why this is, but people just leave cars lying around. And so it was the city abandoned vehicle auction. They just leave them. And most of them, you know why they left them lying around. There were some vehicles there that went for like $25. Yeah. And you kind of wonder if the guy buying it overpaid. But I bid on two vehicles. I bid on a late 90s Blazer 4-door with the 6-cylinder Vortec. It was red, but it lost all its clear coat. And it went for $250. It had no keys. Everything comes with a salvage title. It came with no keys, and I just didn't want to hassle with trying to get keys for it and stuff. So I let that one go. The one I really wanted to get, there was another late 90s Ford 250, F250 flatbed with underbed toolbox. So it was like the metal style flatbed on it and everything. It was 4x4. It was clean. Needed a little bit of work. Had some starting issues with the solenoid. You had to jump the solenoid to get it to start. And there might have been an issue with the transmission. And I went as high as $3,500 on it, but it ended up going for $4,250 plus, what is it, 10%? Is that what the...
That's if you pay with a credit card or a check.
So what was the auction fee?
The auction fee gets taken from the other side.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so that was...
So remember to take cash to an auction.
Yeah. Anyway, what else? Did we bid on anything else? We got a bunch of little stuff.
Mm-hmm. Cool things.
Yeah. And then the next day there was a big group garage sale up in Shields Valley, and we went, took off early and went and hit all the little garage sales and stuff. And I think, I got some bikes at the sale.
You got some bikes.
I paid $5 for a pair of Schwinn. I'm probably going to end up tearing them down and just filling up my parts bin. I realize I need, with all the bikes we have and with the kids riding bikes and stuff, I need more parts. So, anyway.
And that was a good deal parts-wise.
Yeah. Fertile Craftsman says, evening bears flying half headed to Bogota, and I'm stuck here in 107 degree heat and humidity. That is criminal. I think it's got to be the high 50s here today.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Terrible.
Mark Elmer, I see your super cute hippo image that you sent. Just a reminder that if you do at the Den of Tools, that will make sure that it is highlighted for us and that we can see it. We really do try to read and see everybody's comment, but we just can't. So if you do at the Den of Tools, it'll make sure that we see it. I don't know why I'm using my hands so much because you guys can't see them, but I talk a lot with my hands. So thank you so much for sending the little hippo emoji. I love it.
Let's see here. Mike says, howdy y'all, listening from just outside Washington, D.C., District of Corruption. Here to make a delivery in the morning, then back home to Tennessee. Get in, get out. Be safe. What's the best deal on impact driver with a battery, charger, and tool? Bauer, Cobalt, or DeWalt? I want to stay under 150. I don't remember the exact prices, and it depends on what you're going to use it for. The Cobalt impact driver, we're talking about impact drivers. Well, that's a horse in another color. I thought I was thinking impact wrenches. Impact drivers. So Bauer just came out with a brushless impact driver. And I don't know if I think the Bauer days are still going on. And you can get that impact driver with the charger. So it's brushless with charger and battery. And it's the 5 amp hour battery, if I'm not mistaken, for $100. That's going to be a tough one. And then if you want the 2-year extended warranty, it's going to be $13 on that. So $113 for that. I'm not sure what the price of the Cobalt is. I somewhere have the Cobalt impact driver. It's a good impact driver. Here's my issue with the Cobalt. They're all big. So if you're trying to get into small places with it, not so much. The DeWalt makes some fantastic impact drivers and some really nice compact ones. Question is, can you get everything you just asked for at the price you just asked for it? What was it? You were looking at $150. You think you probably can. I gotta say the Atomic is fabulous. Even their new impact driver, just their basic one, is a beast. So I don't think you can go wrong with that. The problem with DeWalt is their batteries. That's always their Achilles heel as far as I'm concerned. Their batteries are mediocre and overpriced. That's my take on DeWalt. Yes.
I was going to read the next.
Okay, go on.
Michael says, hi kids, can't stay long, have an 0400, wake up in the morning, not much to report. Mike in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I did.
Sounds like he's working.
He is.
That sounds good.
That's very
That's
exciting.
awesome.
And I know a number of other people commented back and forth because I read them, that a number of our folks are in Virginia. They're like all neighbors. You guys are going to have a get together without us.
It's for lovers. Did you get my... She sent me a picture of a hat the other day. It had an outline of a state. She's like, what state is this? I'm like, I'm not sure. But I think it's for lovers. And I never heard back from you.
It took me about 5 more minutes and I figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
JJ Rich, first time viewer. Hey JJ, glad you're here. 1964. Let's see here. Extra Mile Customs Creations says hello everyone. Fred says I'm here for the beer. We have beer?
No, he has beer.
I'm like, I got that Coke. HF Vidshot says hello from Texas. Mater's in the house. How you doing, Mater?
Hey, Mater.
Say hi to Crystal for us. So I got back from Walmart and saw a Hart riding mower. I don't see spending $3,900 for it. What's your thoughts? Well, I thought they lowered the price, but that said, turns out the reason for that price increase is because we were all comparing it to the older Ryobi riding that was similar, but apparently it had a lead acid battery. This one has a lithium ion battery in it, and it's still ridiculously overpriced. It really is. The only person who'd be buying that, somebody who needs a riding lawnmower, has a reasonably sized yard, and likes the quiet and convenience of battery. I mean, if I had the money for it and it was not a big thing and I could throw money at it, I definitely want to consider going that route. But I mean, for the average homeowner, $3,900 for a riding lawnmower, the new electric version of a Snappy, no, I'm not buying it. That's for sure. And I'll tell you what, and I hate to, I just did a video saying, that I'm done with deer, but I was looking at the Craigslist recently, and you could pick up a gas riding lawnmower for just practically nothing. I saw them for between $100 and $300.
Wow.
I had to hide the one for $100 from Griff because he would have wanted to buy it. Yeah. Anyway, PT says, "Good evening, folks. Don't forget to hit that like button." Kent says, "Just ordered my first e-bike. Got the Rad Power Bike Rad Rover 6 Plus. Can't go wrong with that one. Rad Rover, the number one seller of e-bikes in the U.S. They make just excellent. They're the Honda of e-bikes, if you ask me. They just work. Let's see here, 105 in Dallas Fort Worth. There's a reason I'm not in Dallas, and 85 in Iowa City. A lot warmer. We were in Iowa City. This was back in February. It was a little chillier back then.
Chilly.
I keep telling her that I need to take her back to Iowa so she can see it in the spring and summer.
I would like to go to the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah, I'd love to take the kids to the Iowa State Fair. And I feel like we've taken them to the California State Fair, the Montana State Fair, did we go to the Nevada State Fair?
No.
We've been to a bunch of county fairs as well, and I feel like they haven't been to a real state fair because I compare everything to the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to the Iowa State Fair, so I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't.
Not bitter.
Owens Jeep says, "Live in North Carolina but work in Virginia." And let's see here. Kale says, "Thank you. You're welcome." Michael says, "Mr. and Mrs. Bear, I'm working, as I was just sharing with Owens, I'm working on a military base writing programs for an automated cable test machine."
Super cool.
I'm so happy you got work, man. PT says, "Rigid Red are made in the U.S. Yes, but they're also not sold at retail as far as I know. Like when I say, like, you can't go to a big box store or an average retail. You have to go to a plumbing specialist location or order them online to get Rigid Red. And even still, so I understand it, the tools are made in the U.S. The batteries and chargers, I believe, are made in China. Just jumped on me there. Where was I? Craftsman says, "I would like an electric riding lawnmower with their high price and short lifespan. Gas is still far cheaper in the long run." Maybe. There's a lot I've heard back and forth on that. The Ego riding lawnmowers seem to be pretty amazing. If you take care of them and stuff, I'm guessing they're going to last longer than most of the other stuff. Steven says, "I have a Ryobi 40-volt charger coming. I bought off eBay with a 4 amp hour battery for the mower. I got off Direct Tool at the sale they had. Awesome. I'm glad you found those." And David says, 73 here in Vermont at the moment. Vermont is a beautiful state.
Another state I haven't been to. Michael and Owens Jeep stuff are having their own little conversation, but they are talking about blacksmith stuff. And I think we talked about it last time because Griffin has super gotten into blacksmithing. And so if you are at all interested, look into local blacksmithing guilds and blacksmithing community because they are all over and you can learn really cool stuff. End of my sort of infomercial.
Let's see here. Where'd I go?
Michael.
Where?
Oh, no. David.
Kent says, Rad's customer service was great too. Ordered the bike wrong and didn't get the $300 discount and 3 free accessories, but they took care of it and on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's so cool.
Amazing. Bart says, mid-90s in North Georgia with a ton of humidity today. Supposed to be over 100 by Wednesday. Hope I don't have any attic work this week.
Ooh, me too. I'm going to pray real hard on that one.
I hate working in attics in the summer. That is just...
Speaking of that, perhaps we should do that this week because I think it's going to be raining. Go look at ours.
Yep, just to double check. Also, I want to go, before I forget, we need to go under the house and I want to check just under the bathroom, look for leaks and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm writing that
down. Steven says, if you've seen Resale Rabbit here on YouTube, I got the charger from him. That sounds interesting. Would you recommend Tecton sockets compared to Snap-on a budget? 6 days a week and twice on Sunday. Tecton makes fantastic products. There's nothing from Tecton that I've tested. In fact, by the way, especially for those of you who've been around the channel for a long time, go check out Torque Test channel. They put a bunch of combination wrenches on their test rig. And you'll find, because I got a lot of grief for this when I did it, because I was probably, I think, one of the first YouTubers to really do a wide comparison of combination ratchets. And I came out and said, look, like Tecton beat Snap-on, beat most of the other, tool truck brands, and that Wright was right at the top with the strongest wrench out there. And years later, with a much more sophisticated rig, and they found the exact same thing. Just the exact same results that I got. It was ridiculous. Anyway, give them some love. Go check them out.
Mark Olson wants us to know 7 people and 1 moose in Vermont. Well, I created a whole new state there.
Vermonica. Let's see. Neil says, sorry I'm late. Party can start now. Thank goodness. We've been holding the drinks and the hors d'oeuvres. They were going bad.
Yep. Everyone get a little crab something.
Let's see here. The top says, FedEx say Home Depot doesn't honor all Ryobi Days deals in store. No. And it all depends on the store. It depends on what they were able to get in inventory and stuff like that. The Lord says, Ego's an excellent brand. Have a lawnmower and a blower. Very reliable. I've talked to a lot of people who have Ego. I've heard very few people who were unhappy with the product. Bob says, for just a home DIYer, would a track saw be a better choice than a table saw? Unless you've got a specific job that a track saw or some other tool with a straight edge can't do, I highly recommend going with the track saw route. It's portable, it's safer, it's easier, it's cheaper in most cases. Get the track saw. It's a lot more, I find it to be a lot more versatile for most homeowner types. The Dave says, gave you a like. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ken says, my day job tomorrow won't be any fun. Driving a garbage truck in rural Iowa and no AC in the cab. How do you have no AC in the cab?
Okay, I was like super with you and like all excited to do that until you said no AC, and then I was like, maybe not.
And he says, thank God I've got the Ryobi clip fan. We've got one sitting right there. What do you think? Do you like the Ryobi clip fan better than the Hart one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? And why is it?
I feel like the ergonomics are better, like the way it's put together.
Stands up and it feels like it's a little bit more robust.
The Hart one, I always feel is awkward.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I clip it on something, it feels like it might.
Because the fan on the Hart one, the fan is attached to the clip, so as you clip it, it changes the angle. So you got to then take into account the angle of the clip you're using.
I do think that the Hart is slightly smaller, like it's shorter.
It's smaller and lighter.
In some ways, that's a benefit. I guess it depends on what you're going to do with it. I think most of the time, I have the Ryobi just sitting there.
Kurt says Tecton tools rock. Also 73 in Reno. They do. They were just running a sale. I'm trying to remember what it was. They had a pretty interesting sale that was going on, and I forgot all about it. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let me go to Tecton's website. Discounts and offers.
And I'm not ignoring you guys. We have some of our little people are not here, so I will be getting random messages.
They were selling a set of ratchets. No, sockets. They were selling a set of sockets. And it came on a tray, and the tray, there it is, and the tray has a spot to hold a, whatchamacallit, to hold your ratchet. And this doesn't make sense. I'm going to put a link so you can take a look at this and see what I mean.
Okay. And Owen's Jeep Stuff with a $9.87 super chat. Thank you so much. Don't forget to chomp that like button. Thank you. And Hiram
Hold on. Owens, thank you so much. And the 987 is very appreciated. And Hiram, I think we need to have a talk.
As of now, you've been drinking a garbage truck for 14 hours. Do you mean driving? Have you?
Because if you're drinking garbage trucks.
I want
Is this a drink I don't know
about? I
about?
want pics. Yes.
Anyway.
Let me know what's going on.
Yes. Steven says, speaking of hardware and tools, that's the area I stocked this morning at work. You're shopping at Menards.
Yeah.
Neil says, now that I have my track saw, Festool TS55. Oh my gosh. Nice track saw.
Wow.
I rarely use my Bosch 10-inch job site saw. I can imagine. Asylum says, hey, hello, Bear family. What is Mrs. Bear wearing on her head tonight? It looks neat.
It is, okay.
It's a Triceratops.
It's a Triceratops. I mean, obviously, there's, well, it's a little hard to see.
I see it. There's no doubt that I see it.
I think he's questioning his marital choices this evening. But I have worn this one before.
Let's see here. Jim says, thinking about the Tecton 1/3, 3/8, half-inch socket, probably means 1/4. $455, $20 in rewards through Wednesday. Any thoughts on equivalent Milwaukee set? Yeah, I would get the Tecton set. Here's the deal. The Tecton set, you're going to get the 20% back on rewards, and that's really nice because I think they're doing the double rewards through Wednesday. Normally it's just 10%. 10% is nice too. But that lets you get a bunch of stuff that you might not normally pick up, and it will expand your, what you've got. On top of that, the Tecton warranty, the only company I think that comes close to the Tecton warranty has got to be Harbor Freight, as far as honoring those hand tool warranties. Because Harbor Freight, you go in, they do what they like the old Sears. You slap it down on the table. They don't even look at it twice. They're like, grab a new one, and boom, you're done. You're out in and out the door. Tecton, you snap a picture of it on your phone, you upload it to the website, and a couple days later, you get a box in the mail. Probably forgot about it now. What is this? Oh, look, it's a brand new wrench. So it doesn't get much easier than that. That ratchet holder part is marketing gimmicky. Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, we do that in toolboxes. People are always looking for ways to organize their ratchets and stuff. So for people who like that kind of organization, that's a way to go. Michael says, Jeff, you just reminded me, one of my little tricks is to keep these cheap high preference magnets around the workbench, keep screws and hardware from wandering off. That's a nice idea. I like that. Line the back of it and the side, so if they go squirreling away, it catches them. Where did mine go? I just had it. Oh, here it is.
It's still there.
I've been having that happen on my desk with this thing. I don't know why it's on my desk. Apparently, I just haven't put it away, and it keeps finding things that I didn't know were there on my desk. Rich Janice says, GoTrax electric bike. Any good? I've not tried it. There are so many brands out there, just so many brands, and we have a lot. Let me give you an idea how many e-bikes we have. It is an embarrassment of e-bikes, honestly. Let me see if I can put this up here real quick. Oh, that didn't do it. And let's see here. Where's my transition? How do I transform, rotate that way? You can see how many bikes we have there.
Yeah.
It's more like and a scooter. Bikes and a scooter. So.
And I don't think they were all in that picture.
Not all the bikes. Those are just. There's a bike at the end, and then there were some. Those are all e-bikes and e-scooters. So, and and we still haven't gotten through all the ones that are out there. Yep. The Ricky would love a dinosaur headpiece. Who wouldn't, really? Come on.
Yes, I will be on the lookout. Let me know a specific dinosaur. I'll make it happen.
Mark points out, I think he's talking about the Tecton there. He has the 1/4 inch and 3/8, and they are no skip and great quality. Here's the deal. Tecton is beyond no skip. They are no skip to the point where I have yet to find a holder that has all the numbered ones on it that actually includes everything that comes in a Tecton set. You will have extras that I don't know if I'll ever use this, but if I do, I have it and more. Hey, Di's in the house. Just finished with my mowing with my Ryobi 21-inch 40-volt cordless, 3rd season, and the battery is still going strong. And she's up there, I believe, in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I thought she was somewhere else.
Mike says, between some junk from demo jobs I've accumulated, I've been able to fabricate my own window awnings for my sister's house, mostly Harbor Freight tools. If only I had the energy I used to. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing is I've gotten to that point in my life where I know how to do all this stuff, and it's not a big deal, except my knees and my back and the energy and the time during the day. Oh, the kids are learning a whole lot of stuff, let me tell you.
Yeah.
How's the fuel cost out there? I think we're still at
Wisconsin.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, I don't think Minnesota's the right one, but I couldn't quite. It was on the tip of my tongue. Thank you for correcting us.
Fuel, I believe it was $5.60 for diesel. It jumped 10 cents overnight the other day.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Wild says, really torn between Tecton $445 and the Icon. Get everything with no skips, and Tecton can get no skip sockets with Icon, but a lot more money. However, there's a ton of Harbor Freight around Amish country. I have the Icon ratcheting. So I used to really like the Tecton ratchets, but I have since switched to using Icon ratchets. So I have Tecton sockets. I have the Tecton ratchets, but I don't use them as much. I use the Icon ratchets. I use the Icon ratcheting wrenches. And I've got Tecton screwdrivers. And I'm trying to think what else I use. Let me eyeball it real quick. Hex keys are... Well, I gave away my gear wrench to my son because he needed some. I've got a cheaper pair of gear wrench hex keys, and then I just bought some from... What's that? That cheap company starts with a D that you see all over Amazon. Durastar or something like that. Impacts. My impacts are... Well, they used to be Cobalt, but I think I gave Duncan the Cobalt, and now I'm using the other ones from Nico. Those have been great. The Nico impacts have been great. Pliers. My pliers are all over the place. I've got a ton of Doyle pliers. I've got some old channel lock stuff.
Is it DeCaro?
DeCaro, no. And then, well, hold on. I can pull it up real quick and tell you what it is.
Duramax?
Isn't that an engine from Chevy?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it is.
Yes, but...
I just ordered some Duratec. And they're and you may say it's kind of gimmicky. So I wanted something to go. So I'm maintaining 3 sets of tools. The set for my son that lives down in Vegas, in Nevada. The set that lives up here in my shop, and my mobile set. And my mobile set is a lot more comprehensive, I think, than most people's mobile set. So this is going in the mobile set. I wanted something more than just Allen wrenches because I want the grippiness of it. So I found these, and you have to tell me what you think of these. It's a little gimmicky, but it does work, and it fits. It easily fits an entire set. I have both the metric and the SAE, and it fits an entire set with room to spare in one of the drawers of my T-Stack system. That's the same as the Craftsman Versa Stack, for those of you who have been following that. Let's see here. Bondhouse for hex keys. Bondhouse makes fantastic hex keys. Don't get me wrong. And I looked at Bondhouse and I looked at the other Made in the USA one, but I was looking for a specific solution that would give me the option with the handle and stuff. So that's why I went with these, just trying them out. Fred says, went to Walmart and saw Hart on sale. Thought about you. How is your Hart tools doing for you? So I don't currently have the Hart tools. We left them in the RV in Vegas because they are now our RV specific tools. And for the last 4 months and on the road, I used them. We got a flat tire. We use them fixing stuff because there's always something breaking around there, working on the e-bikes, working on the truck. We did a bunch of stuff on the truck, stuff that got us in trouble because we weren't supposed to be doing mechanical stuff on the truck in the RV park. Hey, we didn't know. And I'll be honest, I never at any point was like, there was one point I tried to take a lug nut off with the impact driver with a 2 amp hour battery that was not fully charged, and that did not happen. I took a fully charged 4 amp hour battery, popped it on there, and it came off. So, didn't really have any issues with them. They worked great, and they're not expensive, and there's always a Walmart nearby. Where'd we go? Make trays. About. Oh wait, Crystal. Hey, Crystalline, how you doing? The magnetic trays and bars you can get at Harbor Freight should work for that. That's a great idea about the magnetic bars.
Yes, those are useful for like everything.
I love it. Futon answered before Di that she's from Wisconsin.
That's right. Thank you for keeping it real, Futano, too.
He's keeping track. He's got all the love over there. Is there any difference between the Predator 9000 generator with the center gas fill and the dual oil chain and the one with the gas fill on the side and the single oil drain plug? I think you're talking about the open cage, not the inverter one, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't looked, really, to be honest, because I've really only been following the inverter stuff lately.
Oh, Futono 2 says, I was born there. Gotta love Wisconsin. Wisconsin's beautiful. I thought it was great when I went.
I will say this. My first guess is that one of them is the updated, whatchamacallit, with the CO stuff on it. The carbon monoxide. I always get those two mixed up.
Futano 2, I cannot pronounce where you grew up. There's a lot of O's in that word.
Rock on?
No.
With your bad self?
Walk. Yeah.
That sounds like Wisconsin if I ever heard it.
There's a lot of O's in that. And I'm sure it's super simple and I'm just a goofball.
I can't see on the old one where the gas fill. I think the gas fill's on top on that one too. So no, I don't know. Clearly. Sorry, I can't help you.
Thomas, thank you. He says 176 watching and only 11 likes. Come on, folks.
Let's see here.
Wait, Futano 2 is helping me say it. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc.
Wisconsin. Yeah. Thank you. That's a lot going on. I feel like
that was something when so the kids are all from California. That's where they were all born. And they grew up with a lot of streets and towns
Spanish.
With Spanish names.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, when we get out to the Midwest, that's all going to change and you're going to see a lot of American Indian names. Mm-hmm. And they're like, why? Mm-hmm. And they were stunned when it happened. They're like, Dad wasn't lying. There's all these weird names. I'm like, but for me, that was normal. Mm-hmm. That's just the way street names were.
Well, and when I was a kid, or not a kid, when I lived overseas, when I lived in Australia, a lot of words were Aboriginal words. Mm-hmm. And it's like, ew. I'm like, I have no idea how to pronounce that. So that is always really cool when you learn a new word. So thank you, Futano 2. I was totally not making fun of where you grew up. I just literally wasn't sure how to pronounce it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Where was I? Jumping all over the place here. Elkin, that was the Eklund. That was the other one I was trying to remember. And Simon says, hope all is well. Are you trying to die? That's good. Frank Landgraf in the house. How you doing, Frank? Good to hear from you. Whoop, there we go. Too far. Mark says a magnetic parts tray in the vehicle is a good thing so you don't end up like Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Yes. Not a bad idea there. The Sizzo, SZO Panther says, it's Father's Day. I start my power tool set. Going to Lowe's, 20% off. Credit card discount stuck between Flex, DeWalt, Craftsman on the 6 tool combo. So It really depends. I mean, if you're just a DIY or prosumer, I would highly recommend going with Craftsman, maybe even DeWalt. The Flex tools are fantastic, but they are very, very expensive. And for most people who buy them, it's like buying a Ferrari, but you only commute to work half a mile. So it's overkill for most people. I will say the recip saw is my favorite recip saw I have ever used, and unless something changes, it's going to be my go-to recip saw for everything I do. And the drill and the impact is fantastic and one of the most powerful impacts I've ever used. But again, for most things around the house and DIY kind of stuff, it's way overkill. But it still has that founder's warranty, lifetime warranty, if you buy it before the end of this year. So that's another reason to consider it, but pricey. The where we go? Die. Cheese. When is Craftsman USA coming back? Apparently soon. I have been trying to get as much information as I can about the plant firing back up. And my gosh, if that is a tough nut to crack to get any real information out of those guys. They won't return my calls. I've, threatened to steal their picnic baskets and anything I can do, but they still don't get back to me. Apparently, though, it looks like it's going to be this year. That's my take. It's going to be before the end of the year. They're going to fire that thing up for real. Let's see here. We got the name there. All right. Mike says, have you had time to test your Bauer half-inch impact to see if it's as weak as mine? Just wondering what your results were. No, I have not had a chance to test it because I just found my battery charger. Literally just found it. And the reason I couldn't find it was I forgot I'd gotten the fast chargers. So I was looking for an all red charger.
Yeah.
And apparently it was sitting 3 feet from me. 3 feet from me. Yeah. It's like my DeWalt cable. That was apparently sitting right next to me also.
Today was the day of me finding things that people couldn't find.
Duncan couldn't find his flip-flops. They were right in front of him. I couldn't find my charging cable. It was right next to me. Couldn't find the charger. It was right next to me. Having one of those weekends.
But I'm glad we found it. So it's way better than the weekend where you lose everything. You're
Yes.
like, I know it's somewhere, but I don't know where I put it.
Tom says, just got home from Harbor Freight, picked up the U.S. General 4-drawer cart to go with my 5-drawer, but read as only 5-drawer is in gray still. Member price $199. Huh. Anyway, good cart, man. Michael says, growing up on Long Island, we had great many dead Indian names for towns, rivers, and roads. Seems like that's not a unique thing. We saw a news article the other day, because I'm thinking of New York. There's a lot of areas in New York called something Kill. And it's the name for like a river in a small valley kind of stuff. And there's, what was that one? Something happened in Murder Kill River?
Yeah. And we were like,
Somebody got killed there, and they're like, did you not think about the name of this place?
Yeah.
Before going there?
But I think you're right. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the Native American groups that lived in those areas.
Lost 4,000 or 40,000. Says no CO on either one. I bought it and it leaked, and 3 weeks later they replaced it with the other style. My guess is that it came. Often they'll get equipment from multiple manufacturers, which is why the reason why you'll see that many of the Harbor Freight tools have different SKU numbers is because they come from different manufacturers, and they use the SKU to track who built what. So if they do have problems like the leak, that comes up a lot, then they'll know like these people are not producing to quality and we should drop them. I had not seen that model, so I don't really know what to tell you though.
Mark Olson says kill equals river. Thank you.
See? There you go.
Yep.
Fred says in the Sunday paper there is an Ace Hardware sales paper. They have on sale a Craftsman stack 2 toolbox for $179. These days, are Craftsman toolboxes any good? No. I have.
Just smile while you say it.
I have 4 of them. All right. I have a 57-inch or something, and then I've got 3 of like the 30-inch ones. And I bought those. I bought them knowing what I was getting into because I had a gift card and a discount, and they were going to be for light duty. The 3 small ones I got as tool stands, and they work fine as tool stands. They are not. They're not even the quality of like a Yukon cabinet or a Husky cabinet, much less a U.S. General or an Icon or anything like that. They're terrible. They're sharp edged. We were just moving some around in our storage unit, and I got cut by just grabbing the edge of one. I hate them, and I hate them because they have the Craftsman name on it. If it was like Lowe's brand, or yeah, I'd be like, all right, it's a cheap tool, it's from Lowe's, whatever. But putting that Craftsman name on it, you expect better out of it, and at full price, I got these with like a double discount. At full price, I would have been pissed. Anyway.
Did you show them my cool video?
I did not show this. Where did you get this?
That was when we were at the same event that you got.
Oh,
those
the
hammers.
vintage stuff. So Jess got me this. See,
Oh, it shows up much better there than I thought it would.
yeah, Black and Decker.
So it's a little bit old.
Just a little old. It's pretty good. I need to find a place of honor to put this.
Yeah.
Um,
Otherwise, our children will rehome it somewhere.
Futon 72 says that's Algonquin for Indian for I can't pronounce that either.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For Craftsman says I grew up in Hawaii and had a heck of a time learning how to pronounce street names there. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Wild says there's a ton of Native American river and park names around here. Just went kayaking down the Mohican River yesterday.
Super cool.
And where was I? There
Yep.
we go. Crystal says try being from Oklahoma and mispronouncing the towns. Yeah. Platypus says, what portable tool storage do you recommend? Well, it's hard to recommend anything because I'm not in your position, but I can tell you what I like and what I use. I personally use the T-Stack and the Craftsman system because I find them to be sturdy enough for what I need, modular enough. I really appreciate having a choice between the double drawer and or the single big drawer or the double small drawer.
Mm-hmm.
The price, especially when they're on sale, is excellent. You can get them a lot of places. You can order them off of Amazon. They're just reliable and not too expensive and easy to use. I've tried the new Craftsman Pro Stack. I was not impressed with that. I've looked at the Tough Stack. The pack-out system's stupid expensive. The Rigid makes a decent system, as does Husky, but it's very limited in the parts you can get for it. We also have the Bauer system. I ended up giving that to my son. It's a reasonable system. In fact, it's the exact same as if you buy the Cobalt, it was an XTR system, and it comes in that case. It's the exact same company that makes that. It's very robust. It's easy to use. The locks on the side I find highly frustrating. And it's, again, limited as to how many options you have, and there are no drawer options for that one. So that's the reason I went with the T-Stack and the T-Stack. It's the DeWalt T-Stack and the Craftsman Versa Stack, and they're interchangeable. Just one's red and one's yellow. Keith says red must be hot, showing the guns tonight. Actually staying inside because it's been murky and raining, and so just chilling in the house. I was going to do some work on the bikes, and just as we were about to go outside, it started raining again. If you do a lot of hex fasteners, Mac RBRT or the proto equivalent can be compared to Eklund, Bondhouse, or Tecton. Hard to justify the cost if just weekend stuff. I know that feeling. Fred says, all right, folks, let's go over and press that like button. It's fat-free, cholesterol-free. Anything else? The 100th person tonight to press it gets
Good luck.
a free Harbor Freight coupon. Yeah. I'll send you a link. Anyway, let's draw on this thing. Oh, and I should thank Lippert, because I am a Lippert brand ambassador.
I cannot get my cup to cooperate.
Lippert, if you don't know, is they're like the big name behind a lot of the stuff that goes on in the RV industry. Like, say, the frames that most of the RVs ride on, the new sturdy steps, those things. For a big guy like me, that changes RVing like nobody's in business. You can walk right up into your RV and it doesn't feel like you're going off a diving board or anything. Anyway, they're fabulous people, and thanks for the Yeti tumblers.
Very cool.
Very cool. Frank says we have the Hart brushless vacuum and the 3 4 amp hour batteries. We use 2 to vacuum the whole house. I will say this, she is no longer a fan of because we got the brushed one. And I think, honestly, like I often say, if you're going to be moving air, you got to go with the brushless style. And that's what we should have gone with for that. We keep the brushed one in the RV along with all the other Hart stuff. Mark says Tecton is the new Craftsman for me. Racer Tracer says Hart tools, but I wish I'd gotten Ryobi. Practically the same thing, but I know what you mean, the bigger choice of tools with Ryobi. And Silence says, if the plant fires up, they will need shot blast machines. That's what my new job is making the control panels for. Oh, that's cool.
Super cool.
And let's see here. Where was I? There we go. Oh, keeps jumping on me tonight.
No idea.
Not a clue. I'm totally lost. Infernal says, I'm not far from the Fort Worth B&D plant. Should I go stop by and bribe them with barbecue to get a peek inside? Yes, you should.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's one of my goals this summer. I want to. That's going to happen.
People with barbecue.
We're going to be cleaning up the barbecue area. I need the kids to work getting all the leaves out of there and wiping down the barbecue and firing up, because we're going to do a whole series. We got to get some new chairs. The chairs, we took all our chairs down to our camping chairs. Took them all down to Vegas in the RV and left them there. We got 2, but we need 3 more for the rest of the family. And a small table we can sit out there. And I want to do like a cook and eat series where we sit out there, chat, cook some food on the pellet grill, and maybe do live streams. Maybe we should do that for Sunday night. Do it outside and talk tech or talk tools and barbecue.
Just a reminder for those that lose track of time and the universe and the month that we're in. Next Sunday is Father's Day. So if you haven't already gotten something for your father,
yeah,
you probably should.
I'm not gonna do a series on what to get. I do that every year, like top 10 things to get for your father for Father's Day. I think I'm gonna do one on what not to buy your father. Don't buy us these things. We don't want them.
But for real, next Sunday, Father's Day. Don't forget. Write it down. Make a list.
Michael says the kill thing. The Dutch settled the area first, so every 10 years or so, PETA gets bent when they discover the town of Catterskill. Idiots. Oh my gosh. They need to get a hobby or something. Oh, Mark says, my rigid drills won't tighten into the drill bit. Any suggestions, warranty? Well, they should have that lifetime service agreement if you crossed your T's and dotted your I's. Not sure which one you have. A lot of the chucks are replaceable. You can buy an aftermarket chuck, put it on there. Maybe just take it apart and clean it. Could be another issue. Do they have a 3 or 5 year warranty? I think it's 3 year warranty. Even if you didn't do the lifetime service agreement. Someone says my sister has 2 of the 18-volt Ryobi fans for her dogs. She loves them.
They're pretty awesome.
Does she clip them to the dogs?
No.
Oh.
I like how I'm answering like I hang out with her all the time and I know exactly what she does.
Michael says, speaking of PETA, you know how the new employee gets hazed a bit? Imagine if they sent out the new kid to rehome Hornet's Nest.
That's not nice.
Not a fun joke around here because we do get them up on the hill and stuff. We've had Hornet's Nests around the house, and we had to kick some out of the Jeep to this when we got back here. And Griff got stung in the neck. Oh, he was not a happy camper about that. Mike says, don't feel bad about the charger. I spent 30 minutes looking for my glasses yesterday morning until I realized I had them on.
That is me all day long. Like, I literally will be like, I have to get off the phone. I'm trying to find my phone. I'll have to call you back.
Yeah.
See, no, she doesn't clip them to the dogs. She puts them next to the dog car carrier crates. She has to take them to events. See? I knew that. He's a genius.
Michael says, Black & Decker, my dentist uses their stuff. They do some medical stuff. They do actually quite a bit, as I understand. Mark says, hey, I work in a town named Mamaroneck. And it's Labrador time.
Excuse
It's
me.
Labrador.
Pardon me, were we not featuring
Come
you
on.
enough?
Come here.
Hi.
Oh, you want Mom to love on you. Oh, good. Yeah, that's all you.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun with that.
I think
That's a
head
cold
is
snap.
stuck. Are you stuck? Come on. Oh,
Do you need to go outside?
she would like to go outside. I will return. Maybe. If I can get out. Okay.
Oh my gosh, she's very excited about going outside. Must be a deer out there or something. Let's see here. Christian says, I would love to trade temperatures. Leander, Texas. Leander, Texas is crazy hot. Futon 02 says, anyone else having issues with YouTube and a VPN? YouTube keeps crashing on my Fire Stick. I don't use VPN, so not an issue for us. Daniel says, 46-inch rolling tool storage from U.S. General Husky. Needs more tool storage in my shop, and I'm torn between the two. Husky for price, and U.S. General for just being a tank. The U.S. General is made better. It's stronger. It's heavier. So it really, that's between the two. You'll get more storage for the buck with the Husky, but the U.S. General will last a lot longer. The Silence says, fun fact, on the day 541 people watched me flush a peep down the toilet. Uh-oh.
I'm going to the gas station.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you don't feel well.
And?
So-and-so's got a head cold over here. Thinks he's going to ride an e-bike down to the gas station.
That's why I'm putting a jacket on.
That's not a jacket. That's a sweatshirt.
Oh my gosh.
Come over here. Sit down. Say hi to people. Till Mom gets back, then you can go. What e-bike are you taking?
Engine.
So, there you go. Wait, tell him which one you're taking.
The engine?
The engine. We have the Engine Pro... Is it Pro 2, Pro Turbo, something like that? It's a folding e-bike, full suspension, a 48-volt, beautiful display.
Yeah.
Hydro brakes. Hydro brakes. It's probably the top of the line bike. Do we have one that's better? The S-Pin's probably.
It's close.
Yeah. It doesn't have full suspension, though. It has bigger fat tires, though. Uh-oh. Mama Bear might be back.
Okay. No, it's okay.
No.
No, he wants to run down to the gas station.
He lost his mind.
Lost my mind.
I think it's good for him to get out of the house.
That's what he's been saying all day. What'd you say?
I don't know.
Ooh, $2.
I got $2. I think it's your $2.
Probably.
I opened up the back. Sorry, folks. A little family time here. I opened up the back of the truck where you were sitting, and it was underneath the seat right there
That makes sense.
on the side. So probably which is why I say don't put money in your sweatpants without putting it in your wallet.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea.
Anyway. So, and for those of you who don't know, this is Duncan, my oldest son.
Hello.
And he's the one we go down to. Sit up so they can see you. You look like
Like a what, Dad? Like a
well,
what?
you look like a dwarf midget. You can't tell because he's sitting in a chair that's smaller than mine. He's actually, I'm 6'2", or at least I used to be. He's now officially taller than me, and it's disgusting. And he picks on me, and it's terrible.
I don't actually.
Terrible. Anyway, let's see. Fred says, did you see in Yellowstone a big male brown bear keep charging? The park ranger finally had to shoot and put him down. Not sure what the park rangers carry. Pistols. It's the big boys. That's a good question. I should check with the park rangers. Talk about the bear cages? Oh, explains. Yeah, we've seen a plethora of bear cages in the area. There was also a mountain lion sighting in town recently. There was a bear sighting in town on Friday. Not me or Red. It was an actual bear over in that part of town. And then when there was the woman who got gored by the bison because she was trying to pet the bison. Look at Milwaukee boxes. I've looked at Milwaukee boxes, and they are the same quality as a Husky box. They're not, and they're priced like they're a U.S. General or better. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. They are not worth the name that's written on them. Frank says it's supposed to be in the 90s in Michigan this week. Damn hot. Hot damn. Eesh, yeah. I will not be going to Michigan. Let's see here. Steve's going to bed. Good night, Steve. You take care.
Good night, Steve.
I
think that was a while ago.
Yeah. Keith says, same here in Lewistown. Wettest spring in 10 years. You know, we just saw a thing where they were whining and complaining, saying that the snowpack is, because of global warming and weather change or whatever, the snowpack here keeps getting less and less every year. And that, you know, we're predicting this year to be the driest year on record because we had droughts the past 2 or 3 years. It is a literal swamp. The river is near flood levels, and that usually is done with by May, and we're in June, and we're still getting rain and whatnot. So yes. Or you're using all of 100 years worth of data, and you think you know how the weather works.
Neil F., did we miss your super chat? Because I didn't call it out. I didn't see it. It was for $3.33. It says, I got my Lista stainless top back ordered for 7 months.
Oh.
Holy
Oh, there it
guacamole.
is.
Somehow I missed it.
Sorry about that.
Super, super sorry.
333, I like that.
Yep. Anywho, sorry. Thank you so much.
The Gary says, good evening, Bears and everyone. Yesterday we put a new mailbox up for my daughter, and we used that new 2-part foam in a bag. It says cement. So easy to use. I've seen a lot of people using that, and it does look pretty easy. Steven says, okay, I can't stay long. My alarm is at 3:45 in the morning. It's 8:45 now. Have to get some sleep. Everyone have a good night. We've been sleeping a lot lately. I don't know what it is. Mountain air or something. Futon says, dang it. I was like 9th on the likes. Not going to get my free Harbor Freight coupon. I know. Maybe next time. The Daniel says, I've gotten in line, got in line on a Boulder bench grinder for $200. Thoughts? I think I have heard you say once before they go for a good bit more than that. It really depends on the quality, and it depends on how old it is and how well used it was and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if it's everything it's supposed to be, that's whiskey. It's not whiskey. I would be a lot more chatty if it was whiskey. And Tom says, I also picked up a Bauer pack out base to try it. We'll send you feedback every time. Thank you. And then, you know what? That's a good point. As he says there, anytime you try a new tool, feel free to leave a comment or even send me an email after you've used it for a while. Let me know what you think, because I do collect all that data. A lot of people don't really get it. They're like, oh, I want to hear what one person has to say. Why do you care what one person has to say? I mean, if one person says, hey, I tried this and it worked for this job, that's one point of data. If I can collect data from thousands of different people, and I do, that's really a lot more, has a lot more weight, a lot more veritas behind it.
Okay.
Oh,
do you
back?
need to be up?
Come on.
Up.
Oh, there she is. That's a puppers. Yeah.
She had dandelions all over her face.
Come here. Come here.
Oh,
Say
Dad's
hi.
got you.
There.
Say
There you go.
hello.
Oh, she's up on a pie. Look at that.
She was like, I had to go pee.
Look how
because
frosty
there's gonna
that
be
chin is getting. Look how
thunder,
frosty that chin
and
is
I'm gonna
getting.
be scared.
Oh.
Oh, thank
Oh.
you for sneezing
Yeah.
all
Oh,
over me.
yeah. Oh, yeah. There you
It's
go.
delicious.
That's all for you.
I will.
Stab me later. I know. All right. Mater's Workshop has quite a few. I'll see about sending you some. Quite a few. What did I just ask for? Did you ask for something? I'm worried now. How long before they truck it in water, or what's
Bauer pack out base to try out?
then?
We'll send
Crystalline says Maynard and Workshop. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Jim says, how long before they're trucking in water, or what is the fix for no water in Lake Mead? Oh my gosh, they're now talking about shutting down Lake Mead so they can save Lake Powell. It is it's ridiculous what's going on down there, and I can't understand how that's happening, considering the rainfall levels I've seen in the Rockies, and that's where the Colorado River comes from. So, anyway,
Wings and pizza, sausage. 100% sausage is better than pepperoni on a pizza. Or on a pie.
I go back and forth. I was a sausage person for a long time. Then I went to pepperoni. I'm currently on a pepperoni kick. Have been for about 6 months.
We all know he's wrong. Hello.
Fred says, funny, but my insulated mug and jug looks just like yours, but made from Ozark Trail. Probably is, and you probably paid a lot less for it than these Yetis. I do not, at any point in time, recommend anybody pay for Yeti stuff. It's cool.
Super cute.
Yeah. Where'd the other one go? We had a Harbor Freight one sitting right here.
Oh, it's because I washed
someone goes around picking up dishes.
Washing them.
Yeah.
How could I be crazy?
Ask your mother. The Craftsman says, I'll come cook ribs on your pellet grill. Just let me know when. I'll be waiting at the airport for you to pick me up. Boy, I need someone to teach me how to cook ribs, because every time I try, I mess it up. Ribs are the one thing that just evades me. Mark says, cobble skills, spacking skill, peak skill, Arthur's kill, lots of kills. Yeah, I remember going to Fish Kill. That was one of my favorites. Bart says, speaking of barbecue, I won a green egg mini max this week in a raffle.
Super
Looking forward to
cool.
trying it out. That sounds cool.
Bart, I would say I would love pictures. Like whatever you decide to put in there. Love pictures.
Anyway, it is top of the hour, which means it's time to do a huge shout. Let me mark my spot so I don't lose it. A huge shout out and thank you to, first of all of the mods that help us with the channel here. And that's everyone with the cobalt blue wrench behind their name. A lot of them are creators in their own right, so go check them out. If you are a mod and you've got a channel you want to promote, feel free to post a link right now. And we ask you, pick one of the mods and go check out their channel. And who knows, maybe you'll find some great new content and spread some more love in the tool tube and other kind of communities out there. That's it. Also want to say thank you to everyone who supports us with the super chats. You're all fantastic. I always find it amazing when people donate money to the cause here, and you guys are all rock. And also, especially speaking of people who support the channel, all of our members. That's everyone with the bear behind their name there, like Frank Landgraf there and Owen's Jeep stuff, and a ton of other people there who support the channel each and every month. If you're interested in that, there's information in the video description. Who else?
I was just going to say, Owen's Jeep Stuff just did a link to their channel. So I think most of the mods know how to do it. But if not, that's exactly what we mean.
Yep.
So that you're able to go ahead and check out some new content. And like Jeff said, there have been plenty of times when I've gone to check out a channel and been like, whoa, this is super cool. So it's a great way to get introduced to other content and other ideas.
Yep. Frank Landgraf says, in Michigan, our leading candidate for governor was arrested for being at the January 6th, and his numbers went up. Yes, he was arrested for apparently waving people on. That was special.
What?
They were saying he was inciting people to breach the White House. The guy who's the candidate for Republican candidate for mayor.
Would have been helpful if I heard the first
for
part
governor
of
in Michigan. I'm like, and then you have the Democratic governor who was, they tried to abduct. Apparently, it all turned out to be Fed boys who were doing it.
But we're avoiding politics and we're moving on.
That isn't politics. That is law enforcement we're talking about.
Okay.
If we want to talk about politics, we can talk about the recall of the AG
No.
in San Francisco.
No.
Thank goodness
We're
for
not
that.
talking about that.
LA's next. Anyway, and I consider myself a liberal, folks, just so you know. Daniel Yu here, $4.99 with the hippo hype.
Okay, that is a new one. I have not seen the hippo hype. The hype hippo.
It's hype hippo.
It's super cool. Anyways, anyone who knows anything about me knows that I love hippos. So thank you so much.
This is as good as a UFC hype man. Oh, yeah. You're good. Sorry, there is a stand-up comic who used to be a lieutenant in the Air Force. He does a stand-up routine that will just leave you on the floor,
Like
dying
your
of
side
laughter.
hurts, you've peed your pants.
Yeah, there's one part he's in Africa and he's trying to do a deal with locals, with local militia, and he's having to pay for it in cash, and he's got two Air Force special forces behind him, and the Air Force special forces guy are like, let's do this thing, let's rock and roll, and he's like, you guys have batons, they have guns, and yeah. Anyway, it's hilarious. Michael says, okay, kids, thanks for tonight's family gathering. Speaking of dogs, Molly Beagle is doing well. Need to snore. Stay safe. Good night to you and Molly. Give her a scratch behind the ears for us. Rick Nelson says, Bella Hound. Yes.
We miss Miss Penny.
And Tom says, if he has a cold, should he really be exposing others to it? Oh, don't worry. The gas station, everything's behind plexiglass. Even here in Montana. And then, I didn't know. We had to go to the Social Security office in Bozeman the other day. They're still, not only are they behind plexiglass, they're forcing everyone to wear, there's a limited amount of people who are allowed in, and everyone has to wear a face mask. And they're giving out cloth diaper face masks that do nothing. Even the government's come out and said, like, no, you need a rated, medical face mask for this thing to be effective. What is with this farce that's still going on in federal buildings?
Masks were awful too. I literally think that they had like mildew in them.
It was
awful.
Hilarious. Let's see here. Farm Craftsman says Husky toolboxes for light use and storage. U.S. General for daily use. Darren says, e-bike suggestions for us larger folks, just 6 miles to work. I hate gas power lately. HJM. Go watch my video on HJM e-bikes. They are, as far as I'm concerned, the Ford F-150 of e-bikes. They're fat tire. They've got a ton of power. They have a big battery. They're solid. I can ride it. The kids have rolled it like 20 times, down hills, downward, jumped it, they've done everything they can to trash it, and it just keeps going. And Silence says, HLM getting out of the house and having fresh air may be a good idea, though. And Ed C says, I don't know the brand, but one of my porters parked his e-bike in the basement and the battery blew up. It wasn't being charged or anything. That's weird. Now, of course, that is something that can happen with lithium ion. But that is odd. I'd love to hear the brand that happened to.
Yeah. And if they had noticed anything, like sometimes you can notice with battery packs like a bulging or something happening prior to that.
Yeah, usually there's some signs.
Yeah.
The Thomas's life lesson learned. I was talking to Duncan about. I gave him that $2 was over there. That came out of his pocket. I found it in the truck. Telling him not putting money in his pocket when he's wearing sweatpants because it will just fall out. Frank's like, life lesson learned. Mater says he's shorter than Crystal, son. He's 6'5" and only 18. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's hard. My brother is 6'6", and he's been that height I think since he was 18 or 19, and even he's like, don't ever wish to be this tall. It's a hard life. Silence says, if there was a bear sighting in town, Red needs to step up his game and defend his territory. And then, did I read this one where Fort Craftsman said, Husky toolboxes for light use and storage, U.S. General for daily use. That's a good way to look at it, I think.
Fred Hill with the $5 super chat says, okay, what were you saying about the San Francisco DA? LOL. Next LA DA. LOL.
So the San Francisco DA got elected under this whole pretense of defund the police and all this other stuff. Of course, it's San Francisco. They're all for it. Let's do it. And he pushed that agenda. He wouldn't prosecute anything where he felt basically was anything under $1,000 now they wouldn't prosecute, so the police wouldn't arrest. And that's where he started with the whole thing with groups just going in, breaking into stores and just taking stuff. Between that and between people knowing that most guards aren't allowed to actually do anything because of insurance reasons, people would just go in, break into store, or not break into store, they'll walk into stores and then with garbage bags and just take stuff. And and there's been car break-ins that have gone crazy. People have gotten killed over stuff, and they did a recall election on the first chance they could, and he got recalled, and it was by like 30 points. It wasn't close. It was like, no, this has got to stop. And apparently the DA in LA has been doing the same thing with the same results, and apparently he's next up on the chopping block in November. So it's, and I'm not saying we need that they're wrong about that. There are issues, and we need to find solutions for crime. It's, people who have good jobs, who make good money, don't go out and commit crimes. So we got to find a way to fix the social issues that we have, but you don't do that by just ignoring crime and going like,
by not
do whatever you want.
prosecuting.
Yeah.
By not prosecuting.
Grameen says, how's the family? I'm still in Miami. You asking us to check on your family? Have you seen them lately? Dude, you need a break.
You were there so much.
Or you need to fly me out there. I saw that little jet you were playing around with. Send it up here. It can land right at the Livingston airport. I'll be down there in a few hours. We'll go have some drinks. That's a cool looking. Did you see the plane he posted on Instagram? That's a cool little plane.
I think so.
The Kill King 110 says, I'm looking for job site fans, thinking about getting one for power outages and want to get a good system. Job site fans. Well, here's the getting one for power outages. So you're talking about the cordless ones, like the one I've been talking about? What'd you get me, Dunk?
Nothing.
You suck.
Yeah.
You didn't get me anything.
Good job wearing your helmet, though.
Do you want to show off your helmet?
No.
No. Do you feel worse after doing this?
No.
No. Does he want to talk to us?
No.
Anyway. He got a new helmet as an early birthday present, and he's been wearing it a bunch, and he posted on Instagram, apparently got contacted by the company, and they want him to join their marketing team or something, so he's going to be doing a lot more posting for them. Anyway, job site fans for power outages. So the reason I ask is I had a company send me a floor fan that has a built-in battery. You're talking about, sorry, we like this fan so much. That's immediately where I went, rather than just thinking about the regular tool system fans.
You can show it off.
That will fit on my head?
He won't fit on his head, baby.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think it'll go on my giant noggin.
Nope. You're going to get that stuck.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I look so like a pro.
Can you get it off?
Well, we're not sure yet.
I'm stuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is all mine.
It's going to take my ears with it.
All
You wanna try it on?
mine. He's nope.
Nope.
He is no longer available. That one right there that I just scratched.
Oh,
that
my
one's mine.
head just got molded like a Jello mold.
Oh, at Human United, if you need any mountain biking, snowboard, all of that. Yeah. I had to, sorry, Dad.
That's all right. So anyway, yeah, I think all the job site fans are pretty much the same. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they all came out of the same factory. I've looked at several of them. The only thing I recommend is getting a dual voltage one that'll run on cordless and corded, because there's been a lot of times where we've needed to keep the fan going. I will say this though, I got to do a video on this fan. I keep putting it off.
Yeah.
We keep using the fan and not doing a video on it. So stay tuned for that. You'll see what I mean.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's that.
We fight over it. We need to buy 2 of them.
And then they'll both be mine.
Nice. Fred says, so your oldest cub, what grade is he in? We lost my father July 95 and my mother in 2019. My mother-in-law, we just lost June 1st of last year. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He is going to be a sophomore next year. And yes, he is driving. And yes, it does terrify me.
And yes, he's pretty good driver. He's just learning.
He's pretty good, and he's pretty honest also. Like, we were driving around going to a bunch of these garage sales and getting in town where he knows, and getting on the highway he's okay with. But when we got into a town he wasn't familiar with, and there was a lot of traffic with everyone going to all these garage sales and backing up and turning around, he was like, no, why don't you drive? Because this is kind of making me wigged out. So, and it's a big truck. He's driving my 3500, so.
Well, and that's a lesson that we want all of our kids to know, whether it's with tools or driving or whatever. Like, know your limits. Like, when you're learning something, there is a time to say, like, no, I need somebody else to step in for a little bit.
Stephanie asked, Jeff, earlier portable storage was asked. I received the old Cobalt XTR box with tools. Will the new Cobalt Masterforce and Bauer brands all work and be compatible? I know the Bauer and the Masterforce are compatible because I've seen both of them. I've only seen pictures. I guess I've seen it, but it was so long ago I don't really remember. But I do know it's made by the same company. It looks, ow, I'm going to twinge in my neck. I've been getting a lot of those lately. And I think it's the same thing. Let me take a look real quick. Cobalt XTR. Let's see here. Da-da-da.
Good evening, Halen Wolf.
It's the rolling case. There's a picture of the case. I don't think that it will, because I don't see the locking mechanism on it.
There's a little tiny creature.
Where?
Flying one right there.
Oh, on my TV screen. So I'm looking at close-ups of the box, and I'm not seeing the locking mechanisms that latch it, that would allow you to latch something else onto it.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Yeah.
know. We can't.
I don't see, there'd be a slot right there.
But what if, is there a slot underneath? It's like if we could rotate the image.
Sorry, folks.
We're looking.
Dang it, I just did it again. I did it again.
Fred Hill asked a question, Harbor Freight, how are their stackable toolboxes?
The same one as the Masterforce, and they're very robust. I like them a lot. The only problem is there's not enough options to go along with it, and they're not that cheap because they don't do discounts on them the way other. Wait, there might be a latch on it.
See,
There is a latch, like the part that slides
it
out and
flips
pops
out.
back in. So it doesn't. No, it's not the.
oh, it's
DeWalt
the one
and
that
T-
pulls out this
yes.
way, which they can't see again because you
Yes.
can't see my
So
hand
the
gestures.
DeWalt and the T-Stack have these ones that flip out like this, and the T-Stack and the VersaStack, and these the Bauer, the Masterforce, and the Cobalt has a slot that slides like this, and then back in like that. So it does look like it would work. Anyway, sorry, big tangent there. As far as Flex portable storage, it looks like a good system. Don't watch the infomercial for it. It was terrible. It was just cheesy. And again, not enough. They don't have drawer systems and stuff. It's just not full-fledged enough yet for me. Which is sad because in Europe, they have a complete, huge sustainer type system that is amazing. Why don't they just bring that one over? And someone says, can you please explain to me the history of the phrase shine on and what it means and how it became to be a thing you dare say? Do we have a copy of it here?
I can get one. Don't lose. Yes, I will get a copy.
Don't lose what?
That comment right there because it's not at the Den of Tools, but we should read it.
David says, Bear, I'm a huge fan, a huge new fan, binge watching all your videos for the past 2 months.
I know it says
Meetings, months. In fact, you're the first person I've ever subscribed to for all the years of watching YouTube. Thanks for what you do. Laredo, Texas. Ooh, Laredo, Texas. That's cool. And thank you so much. That's awesome. Glad we found a community that you like. Hope you join us here with the live streams more. We always like to say it's about the community, and we always try to be interactive and everything. So that's great. Welcome to the den. And as now going back to Asylum. So before I was ever on YouTube, way back in the day, in fact, a long time ago, I used to live in Kentucky, and I learned a few skills in Kentucky. And then many years later, I ended up writing a book about some of those skills. And it is the Home Distiller's Workbook, Your Guide to Making Moonshine Whiskey, Vodka, Rum, and so much more. It has been a bestseller on Amazon for years. It's the best-selling book in the world on how to make moonshine. It's anyway. So and I signed off the book with Shine On. And when I first started doing YouTube, and I would sign. I did a lot of book signings and stuff like that to the point where it's just automatic. I'd sign my name and then write Shine On, and I would be signing stuff that was non-book related and end up doing that. It was pretty funny. So it kind of became a joke. And when we started doing YouTube, it just kind of transitioned into the YouTube thing. So that's where that came from.
And I know that we read that out of order, but it was just because I happened to see that comment. And if you want to make sure that we see them, please do at the Den of Tools, and it shows up orange. I know you can't see it because it's not on top today, but thank you so much for your comment, and I'm so glad you're here.
The Crystalline Skies. Oh, camping chairs. Oh, okay. Thank you.
What about camping chairs?
I think that's what she said, that he's got a bunch that he's going to send us.
Cool. Or even just recommendations. Yeah. We're always looking for sturdy camping chairs because we're kind of hard on them.
Mike says, I'm still waiting on that second coming ice age that experts in Leonard Nimoy warning about back in the 70s. And I don't mean to be political about it. I do have a fairly good comprehension of the concepts of science. And a lot of scientists have a real problem with thinking that they know everything. And if you look at the data sets with how long the world's been, we can't accurately forecast the weather here a month in advance. And many times a day in advance.
Many times, same day.
Yeah, and we think we can tell what's going to happen and why it's happening and all this other stuff. Modern technology has only been around. Computers have only been around since the 80s, all right? And we haven't been doing accurate weather data tracking for much longer than that. And I guess then it also depends on how accurate you think accurate is. You cannot even conceive to understand how many variables there are in weather patterns. I find it to be a lot of hubris to believe that, we've got, less than one human's lifespan of data, but we already know. We know that this isn't right, that it's not supposed to be doing this. Mark says, pump all that runoff into the Rio Grande and make it more of a barrier. Oh, can you imagine if it was flowing like the Yellowstone around here?
Oh my gosh.
There'd be some dead people. Yellowstone a lot of people think the Yellowstone is just this nice little river. It gets nasty. Gramute says, I heard that California is piping the water from Mead to ocean to rebuild the deltas. I would not be surprised about that. Platypus says, my Milwaukee right-angle die grinder started smoking after a few minutes. Not sure if it's worth the price. That's too bad. Usually when something's smoking like that, honestly, it's the grease that's overheating. It may be a case that something was running too hot or didn't have enough grease packed into it. Hopefully, if it's new, take it back. Oh, it's a 5-year warranty. I would take it back and get it fixed. Probably it's just somebody didn't put enough grease in it. Fred says a cow moose attacked a lady with a dog, and the park ranger had to put her down. She had attacked 2 other people. I think he means the moose, not the lady. People need to know moose are blind as bats, so beware. And they are mean. People think moose are big, like dairy cows. You can walk up and pet or something.
They look so graceful. Like if you just see them, they look really graceful. But they're going to whoop your ass.
They're prehistoric creatures. Stay away from them.
They're wild animals. Just
stay
away from them.
Let's see here. Let me try to catch up, make sure I'm not missing any. Masks still on the buses and trains in New York. The Gramute says, like the F-150 e-bikes, that means you'll be pushing it.
Nice.
Oh, let's see here.
Charles Peck says, I predict that we will have continued various weather, just like always.
Yeah.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
The Mark says the batteries Lion become unstable if left at low charge. That's why for shipment they require at least an 80% charge.
Okay, I literally read that statement like 3 times before, and it just like did not make sense in my brain. But when you read that out loud, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Coke me.
Oh, I thought you were giving me some.
You thought I was offering you some?
I thought you were
Have
giving
your-
me caffeine. There's
give your
nothing in
mug.
there.
Well, you got Coke right next to you, lady.
But it's the bad kind.
The bacon.
Don't take away.
She'll still drink it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my list for what I'm reading for is off over here. So that's why I'm keep looking off camera.
Excuse me. Excuse. Oh.
Hi.
Excuse me.
Can I help
Hi.
you? Oh.
Hi. She says she can help you.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hi, Dad. Let me tell you
The
all about
stores in
my
SF need a good moose at the entrance. Boy, that would deter some people. Futon
No,
Twos.
no, it wouldn't. They would just try to pet it.
Yeah, they're not bright enough to understand. Futon 2 says night. Good night, sir. You have a good one.
Good night. Sorry about moving our table so much.
Yep.
It's okay.
Paul says, hi guys.
Oh,
Gas prices are phase one of the new Green Deal. You know, they've been saying for the longest time that we need to be paying our. They become it's like, you know, well, Europe pays something. We need to pay our fair share.
What is the deal? What do you need? Do you need to go outside again? Outside? You already had dinner.
Don't lie. Are you lying to your mother? She moved the other side. So I'm not talking to you. And Renegade's Garage in the house. How you doing, Renegade? And let's see here. The bear has a ball gag.
Because it looks like
The
outside.
Red requesting a flyby. Don't do the crime, can't do the time.
Guacamole. Barbecue 76, member for 31 months.
Wow.
Wow. And
That is
I
awesome.
like the image. I feel like that's new and it's barbecue grills.
Oh, it is.
Very cool. Okay. The dog is insane. I'm going to take her out again. I think it's the weather that's making her a little goofball right now.
Let's see here. Fred says Harbor Freight. How are the stackable toolboxes? I think I already answered that. If not, mention it again. I mean, I know I did, but if you didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Paul says, I can't believe the difference in tool selection between how much more tools Lowe's carries over Home Depot. I've noticed this in multiple stores. Have you seen this yourself? More brands, I would say. And I don't know if I don't know. I guess I haven't really paid attention to it. I don't know how I missed it. The layout is different. I'm trying to visualize. I'm a very visual kind of person, trying to visualize it in my head. I'll have to go back and double check, but you might be right. The Fred says, so Bear, what are the stackable toolboxes would you look at for? Well, that's what I said. The DeWalt T stack and the Craftsman Versa stack, because it's an interchangeable system. Buy whichever ones are on sale. If you want the single drawer, you have to go with the DeWalt. If you want the double drawer, you have to go with the Craftsman. Means that you don't get color coordinated, but meh. Stephanie says, I want to say thank you. Thank you right back. Steven says, Bear, it's nice to learn more about tools from you. Awesome, thank you. Mike says, I'm looking for hard to find hollow point 9x18. Oh, Makarov. Found some Buffalo Boar brand online. Any suggestions for a cheaper source? No, I don't. I got rid of all my weird off-brand kind of stuff years ago. I don't follow any of that stuff anymore. I stick with 22, 9, 45, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 556, and 308. I will say I recently got into 44 mag because I got a lever gun in it. And I might get back into 357. So that would be it. I don't get into any of the, and I definitely don't do the, I used to have my collector's FFL, and I'd get some of the old Russian stuff, and I had a bunch of stuff, and I used to be big into the AKs and whatnot, but I don't do any of those anymore. Just keep it simple. In fact, it's funny because I was watching, what's his name? One of the gun guys. He was talking about his top 5 favorite carry guns. And I used to be a CCW instructor, and he has this whole list of I carry this one for this, and this one for this, this one for this. And I'm like, P365. I carry the small one for lightweight stuff. I carry the big one for everything else. And that's it. If I want more rounds, I carry an extended. So anyway, Fred says, funny, my father was stationed in Laredo, Texas for over 5 years. Number one enemy of the moose is a wolf. To a moose, a dog looks like a moose. To moose, a dog looks like... Really? John Gonzalez says, have you given up on JD 100%? I would not buy a new one. Not at all. I've been doing a lot of research since then, and I think if I was going to buy, like, I don't have, 100 acres or something like that, but if I was going to buy a compact tractor, I'd probably get a Kubota. I've heard good things about them for years. I talked to a few guys who are techs on them recently. They swear by them. Get one with a hydrostatic transmission on it. And you want to get one. I'd want to get one that's got the skid steer style loading clamps on it, so you can do the quick change kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm done with John Deere. The issue with repair is a big one for me because I'm a DIYer, and I think that people have the right. I really hate this concept of you buy something and they don't want you to own it. And a lot of companies have tried to push that. Apple tried to push that. Car companies started dipping their toes, going, well, what if we did that? Because then you'd have to come to us to get repairs. And it just ticks me off. It rubs me entirely the wrong way. If you buy something, it's yours. You should own it. This idea that everything is basically being rented or leased and you have to go back, that is crazy talk as far as I'm concerned. It's one of the most un-American principles I can imagine. David says, America already pays more to defend European allies via NATO. That's why, in my opinion, we should pay less for fuel. We also, I believe, produce more fuel than NATO. So we actually produce. People don't realize how much fuel we can produce. And we shut down all these pipelines. We shut down offshore drilling. We shut down fracking, all this other stuff. And they're like, well, the president doesn't control the price of oil. No, he doesn't have a dial where he controls it, but he could sure make it so hard that prices go up. Kill King says they need facial recognition capable paintball turrets in San Francisco. That would be awesome.
Just so I don't forget that a package got delivered to the wrong door. So
Ours or someone else's?
ours.
Ours got delivered to someone else? Or
No,
someone got delivered to ours? What is it? Did you open it?
No.
Can we see what it is?
I don't know if you want to open it on camera.
No, I'm just teasing.
Anywho's
Is it neighbors?
It's our package that was delivered to our house at the wrong door.
Oh, so it went to the other door. Jeez.
Gracious.
What is it?
It's over there.
That's just mean. Back in the 80s, we had a driver honk at a moose in the road, and his truck cab looked like a ball team used it for... Yeah, don't do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't mess with the moose.
They have the right of way.
A dog looks like a wolf. Yes, that's true. A dog, they don't discriminate between, oh, that's a puppy dog or it's a wolf. I'm going to kill it. There's a great video. I think I talked about it last time. You got to do a Google search for it, of a moose attacking a bear.
Somebody else talked about
And the bear loses.
Yeah.
Not bad if he runs him off. The bear does run into a plate glass window. That was kind of bad.
I think he was a little embarrassed about that.
Eli says, hi, everyone from California. Love your channel, Bear. Unfortunately, in California, criminals have more rights than by law than citizens. I lived in California for nearly 20 years. I did business in California. I ran a company. I hired people, had to deal with HR, all that kind of stuff, and would never run a business in California again, or live there if I can have anything to do about it. Let's see here. Fred says, Bear, I agree the Earth is over 4 billion years old. How can these idiots think they can predict the weather farther back than 6,500 BC? Yeah, kind of makes you wonder.
Did you get Barbecue 76's super chat while I was gone?
Was it the one that was three? Which was it say?
It's 276. It says, "You guys are saved. I made it. You're welcome." Thank you.
No,
That
I
was
did not
after
get
I
that one.
announced the 31 months. Thank you so much. And so sorry that I was dealing with our hound and all of her houndness.
Paul says, I agree. I buy all my cell phones outright. Yes, I'm not into doing the plans, that kind of stuff. The Kill King says, just 80 years ago, John Deere bragged about the ability to repair in the field. Yeah. Paul Clancy says, honestly, $6 to $10 for a gallon of gas will all be persuaded to drive e-cars. I'm sore of riding my bike, refuse to spend $20 gas. And every time we fill up, it's now well over $100.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what vehicle we use. And it's and the thing is, I know it's artificially inflated, and that's what upsets me. Mark says, because our refineries are set up for sour oil, not the sweet oil we extract here. And John says, nothing runs like a deer except when being chased by a cat. I saw those posts. Anyway, it's 7:30. We're caught up on the things. I think we're going to call it an evening here. We're still getting our legs back under us. So, anything else you wanted to add?
There's a creature on my shoulder.
Where is? Oh, it's a box elder. Lovely.
Shocking. I'm just so grateful that
Throw
you
him
guys
in
were
the
here with
trash?
us. Yep.
Anyway, thanks again. Thanks to everyone who supported us with the super chats. Thanks to everyone who's a mod. Barbecue 76 newsflash. The weather got hot. The weather got cold. Breaking news: climate change is real. It does change often.
It goes up and down.
It goes up and down, left and right, sometimes sideways. Anyway, thanks again. You all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.